Listen, if you want to win, surround yourself with winners, and they're winners. What I'm gonna do, personally, is be at the highest point of self. Everything that I've watched the greats do, I'm just gonna do exactly what I need to do. I am gonna be the best version of myself. If I say to myself, today I want you to do this, I want you to do that, and I want you to be amazing, I want you to catch and count, I want you to slip and count, I want you to parry and count, I want you to dance, I want you to up jab, I want you to spear jab, I want you to flicker jab, I want you to double jab, I want you to jab going back. I am gonna do everything that I wanna do in that ring, and no one's gonna stop me.
Anthony Joshua has stepped into a brutal training camp ahead of his clash with Kristian Prenga, ramping up intensity as fight night approaches. The focus is sharp, the work is heavy, and AJ looks fully locked in for a serious heavyweight test.
We're working hard and we're just training. My job is to let my coaches witness greatness. In my mind, I want them to look at me and say, wow, what a talent. These guys are like, one more round, one more round. One more round.
Anthony Joshua has increased the intensity in training, putting in serious work and staying fully focused. He looks locked in and ready for what's coming next. On the other hand, Kristian Prenga has been deep in training camp, putting in consistent work as he prepares for the biggest opportunity of his career. His focus has been on sharpening his power, improving his conditioning, and staying mentally locked in for the challenge ahead. Meanwhile, Anthony Joshua noted that Prenga is not a veteran at this level of combat sports, but sees the fight as an opportunity for him to prove himself in boxing. He added that both men are stepped in against each other, and ultimately the better fighter on the night will come out on top.
Prenga is not a veteran when it comes to kickboxing, but this is his chance to showcase his level in boxing, and he's up against me, I'm up against him, and then the best man will come out on top.
Anthony Joshua further emphasized that every heavyweight carries knockout power, but the real difference comes down to mindset and purpose in the ring. He added that the upcoming fight on July 25th will reveal exactly where his opponent stands mentally and what he is truly capable of under pressure.
And let's find out what his purpose is, because physically, every heavyweight's strong. Physically, every heavyweight can probably knock someone out, but it's what the purpose is. Let's see where his mind's at, July 25th.
However, Prenga declared his confidence ahead of July 25th, stating that while there is respect for Anthony Joshua outside the ring, everything changes once the bell rings. He made it clear that inside the ropes, he shows no respect for any opponent, while still acknowledging Joshua as a great fighter overall.
I'm gonna win July 25th.
He's done a lot, but is there, in the ring, there's no respect for AJ, would you say?
No, never respect in the ring. I don't respect nobody in the ring. I respect him, he's a great fighter, but not in the ring.
Furthermore, Prenga expressed strong confidence heading into the fight, stating he believes it will not go the full distance. He added that he is aiming to shock the world and is convinced the bout won't reach 10 rounds.
You can knock him out,
I believe, I promise you, it's not going to go 10 rounds the fight.
25th?
I'm going to shock the world, brother. I'm going to shock the world.
Adding to the discussion on this matchup, Kristian Prenga's manager acknowledged the skepticism surrounding the fight, but stressed his fighter's confidence and punching power. He claimed Prenga only needs 1 or 2 clean shots to disrupt Anthony Joshua, arguing that once Joshua is taken out of his comfort zone, Prenga can seize control and make the fight dangerous.
KP, Kristian Prenga, understands the odds against him. He understands the doubt that's been placed on him. But he has absolutely no fear, tremendous confidence that he can win this fight. Kristian is a very heavy-handed puncher. I brought in some of the top sparring partners that we've been able to get our hands on. They have called me up and been amazed at how heavy-handed and what a hard puncher he is and how much of a beating they've been taking in sparring. So we don't need 12 rounds. We don't need 1,000 punches. We just need 1 or 2 good punches on AJ's jaw to get him uncomfortable. We've seen it time and time again. When he gets hit in the right spot, he gets out of his comfort zone and loses control. And once we get him to that place, KP can step in and take over the fight. It's a really risky fight for Anthony Joshua. And let's
Spencer Olivier agreed that Kristian Prenga should not be underestimated, noting that all of his wins have come by stoppage, even if the opposition has been at a lower level. He also pointed out that Anthony Joshua enters the fight carrying external pressures, making his mental state on fight night a key unknown. Olivier added that Joshua's condition may only become clear once he makes the ring walk and settles into the contest.
20 of his 20 wins that he's had have all come inside the distance. Yeah, it's been at a lower caliber of opponent, but Anthony Joshua's had his problems outside of the ring. He's got to deal with that going into this one. So given all that, taking all that into consideration, and we don't know where Anthony Joshua's going to be mentally, and I don't think no one knows where he's going to be. Maybe even he doesn't know where he's going to be until he does that ring walk, until he goes in there. So if you look at all of that, you go, this could be one of the greatest comebacks in the heavyweight boxing in such a short space of time because of what Anthony Joshua's been through. And Kristian Prenga is a dangerous guy that will see this as an opportunity, and that's what this is about.
Okay.
In addition, Spencer Olivier acknowledged that the fight is a huge opportunity for Kristian Prenga, but emphasized the gap in experience and proven level between him and Anthony Joshua. He noted that while Prenga has power, he has never competed against elite opposition, making the matchup a calculated test for Joshua against a dangerous puncher.
With you in some extent that it is a massive opportunity for Kristian Prenga, for sure, but you must admit that he is at a lot lower level than Anthony Joshua. He's never competed at that sort of level. Anthony Joshua knows what he's going in with here. Your guy is very heavy-handed, yes, but from the footage that you've seen online from him, he doesn't he's not mixed, and he doesn't seem to be at that level as Anthony Joshua, and I suppose that's where this is all coming from. It's a calculated gamble from Joshua's side of things because they want a test of some sort, a guy that is heavy-handed.
On the other side, Simon Jordan stated that there are clear levels in boxing, and he expects those differences to show once the fighters enter the ring, regardless of pre-fight talk. He pointed out that many heavyweights are strong punchers, but Joshua has already faced and handled heavy-handed opponents, like Klitschko and Dillian Whyte. Jordan added that while those fights were in the past, the level difference still mattered, and in his view, Prenga is not operating at the same standard as Joshua. He ultimately suggested that if Joshua performs at his usual level, he expects him to win the fight.
And I suspect we will see the levels. Well, the levels will be shown in the ring, and all the talk before it will make no difference. Lots of heavyweights are heavy-handed.
Yeah.
And Anthony Joshua's been in with lots of heavy-handed heavyweights, and you can talk about how he reacts. We've seen him getting hit. We saw him get hit by Klitschko, and we saw what he did to Klitschko. We've seen him get hit by Dillian Whyte, who's heavy-handed, and we saw that. Now, these are years ago, I grant you.
Sure.
But this, with due respect to Keith, this guy is not at the level that Anthony Joshua was at. If Anthony Joshua maintains some degree of level, then I expect this fight to go Anthony Joshua's way.
Simon, let's put that to...
But while Joshua continues his preparations, discussion around his future remains just as active. Experts suggest that the entire roadmap is ultimately leading toward a blockbuster clash with Tyson Fury. However, they also acknowledge the danger that comes with looking too far ahead. Heavyweight boxing has repeatedly shown that expected mega fights can quickly unravel if a fighter stumbles in a supposed stepping stone bout before reaching the final destination.
Well, you say that this fight is all about Fury, as in the fight that's meant to be end of the year, AJ Fury, which is what everyone wants. That is the fight that we're sort of building up to. Is there a danger in that we've seen it before, especially in heavyweights, where a certain fight is built up towards, and then it doesn't go to plan in the build up, in the easy warm-up fights. Is there a chance that could happen? Is that a risk?
So the comparison would be when AJ got done by little Andy Ruiz, but I thought that was, if you really look into that, that was disastrous matchmaking, because he had been training and preparing for Jarrell Miller. Who's 25 stone, big fat drug cheat, stands in front of you and
Building on that perspective, Gareth A. Davies noted that the mental challenge for Anthony Joshua will be significant, even though he has returned to training camp looking sharp and focused. He added that Joshua's mindset now appears more directed and concentrated ahead of the July fight with Prenga. Davies emphasized that full focus is essential given Prenga's unknown quality, warning that a loss in this type of matchup would be highly damaging.
Physically, mentally, it is going to be very tough for him, but he's back in training camp. He looks very good. I loved the way he was saying his mind, which was outwards at kind of 360, is now funneled and ready for the July fight against Prenga. He needs to be very focused against this guy because he's an unknown. It would be highly embarrassing for him to lose. Prenga's been around a long time.
In contrast, Tony Bellew totally rejected the idea that the fight is more of a formality, explaining that it may primarily serve as a test within the training camp to see how Prenga performs under pressure. He added that the setup appears designed to observe how he reacts when pushed and tested physically and mentally. Bellew also implied that, if given the choice, Anthony Joshua would likely prefer bigger challenges, but would still accept this fight if it was the available option.
I'm not going to lie, I think this fight is a formality, but ultimately the reason it's happening is because his team want to see what happens in camp. His team want to see him pushed in sparring. His team want to see when you're in sparring and it gets around 7, 8, you feel a little bit tired. I want to see what happens up here. This fight is happening to please a camp, I believe.
But do you think AJ, if given the option, would have gone straight to Tyson Fury, as opposed to having this warm-up fight?
I believe if he was told this is the only option you've got to face Tyson Fury, he'd have said yes.
On the other hand, Ade Oladipo suggested that Kristian Prenga should not pose major problems for Anthony Joshua, describing him as a physically large heavyweight with solid knockout power. He noted that while Prenga's opponents have been at a lower level, his ability to stop fighters cannot be ignored. Oladipo added that any 250, 260 pound puncher landing clean could cause serious damage, meaning Joshua still needs to be cautious despite being the more proven fighter.
Prenga shouldn't offer any problems. He's a big lump, as they all are in the heavyweight division. I'm guessing he's around 250, 260. Although everyone he's knocked out is at a very, very low level, knockout power is knockout power. Some people will go points with some of the guys that he's put to sleep. So he clearly has power. And I've always said, I think if a 260 pound guy hits you clean on the chin, your legs will wobble and you could go down. So AJ has to be careful, but they've watched tape on this guy.
Adding to the discussion, Carl Frampton noted that in boxing there is always a possibility of an upset, adding that even a single clean shot from Prenga could change the fight dramatically. He suggested that unexpected outcomes can happen at any time in the heavyweight division, where one punch can alter everything.
And there's always a chance he could slip up. There's always a chance AK could break his hand off this guy's head and put him out for a while, so you never know what's going to happen.
Meanwhile, Tim Bradley advised Anthony Joshua to apply steady pressure and take the fight directly to Prenga while avoiding any big punches. He described Prenga as tough but untested at the highest level, suggesting he could struggle once Joshua begins to press him and trap him on the ropes. Bradley added that Prenga may fall into a high guard and become more defensive under sustained attack. He ultimately emphasized Joshua's superior experience and boxing IQ, stating that the key for AJ is to stay composed and make it a straightforward night.
He ain't never been at that level, and you start hitting him hard and you bag him in the corner, he gonna tuck up in that high guard, that dummy defense, and he just gonna take it. Oh, he gonna try to come back, but again, you got too much experience, AJ. You got too much understanding of boxing, bro. You know, don't get reckless, because he does got pop, but just take it to him, bro. It'll be easy.
And that brings us to the end of today's breakdown. We've heard all the opinions, seen the predictions, and broken down both sides of this matchup. But now the real question is simple. What do you think happens when these two step into the ring? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to see who you've got winning and why. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss any fight breakdowns, updates, and boxing talk. Your support means a lot and keeps the content going. Until next time, stay tuned, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.